morning, all you little stumpers in the Stumper Nation. Retired Welder, give me that one. Thanks, Retired Welder. That's cool. The Stump Jumper Nation. Yeah, baby. So what are you guys doing? Is everybody having fun? Hiding under the bed? Oh, we need to get this country cranking, boys and girls. Oh, with caution, but we need to get her cranking. So anyway, I got moved. I'm doing this piece over here. I got moved yesterday. There's all the little all the junk in a row here. So I'm building a deck. Got a new windshield in the Timco. Check it out. It's actually a, well, I don't know if it's stock, but it's about $680, so it better be a good one. But it's got a little dust on it. But that is the it's got Margard on it, 1/2 inch Lexan with Margard. Boy, is it nice. You can actually see through it. What do you think of my sticker that Mr. Grizz gave me? Isn't that cool? Give you a chance to read it. So anyway, I'm just I uprooted this stuff over here because this is where my deck's gonna be. So I gotta clear that out with the dozer, and then I gotta put my skid roads in. So anyway, my market's pretty much dry. Everybody's market's dried up, not just mine. We're all in the same boat. We got a call last Friday from Domtar, and Domtar Paper, where we take most of our round wood. We take it to one of their satellite yards, Keystone Chipping, and have it chipped. So they called. They're shutting down till May. Just orders are, lacking, which is not a surprise, Though they don't make poop paper and tissue paper and stuff. They make, printing paper and computer typing paper, stuff like that. So obviously, with businesses throttled down, offices and stuff not running, I understand their markets are tanking temporarily. I think it's going to come roaring back. I'm pretty excited, optimistic. But anyway, so we got this piece to do, and I got this coal company owns the rights on this timber, and they've only got till June 21st to get the timber off. So there's, I don't know, I think we tallied 80 or 100,000 foot of good timber in here, I think, on the whole piece. So we can easily get that, and I think, move it. I can move a little scrag, limited, probably do 4 or 5 loads of scrag a week. But anyway, I got a little plan. I need to build some sheds, just like at the house, put the mower and the four-wheeler and stuff in, and four-wheelers in, and that stuff, and I've been inspired by the Morgans, if you've watched Outdoors with the Morgans, they're great. He's got his wood miser, and he's been sawing up, building a shed, sawing up boards. But anyway, I got some real nice spruce in here. This Norwegian spruce, this white spruce, I'll show you. And I've been, boy, it's wonderful framing. I mean, spruce framing, the world round, you know what I mean? It's the best, one of the best framing lumbers. And I've got some really nice spruce in here. And I think I'm gonna just, I'll give him the stumpage on it, and I'm gonna have Mikey saw it up on that little wood miser. And he bought a cool little wood miser. I did a video. I don't know if I even put it up, to be honest with you. I gotta put it up if I didn't. But there's some really nice spruce in here. This would make some really nice framing lumber. And I'm thinking, while I'm, got a slow time for 2 or 3 weeks, or however long it is, that'd be kind of a good idea to build some sheds. I don't really have a whole lot of money to do anything too elaborate, but I just thought maybe some tractor sheds, so I can back the service trucks into it, because they don't fit in the garage, they don't all fit. And then over at my house, I'd like to have a couple storage buildings, or one anyway. So, but look at this spruce. This is all Norway spruce, and it's pretty nice size too. That'd make a lot of nice framing lumber. And so I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to take a little time and do that. Be a good time to do it. Well, things aren't too busy, Hey, I wanted to say too, thanks for all the great response on my rant the other day. I just had to vent. You guys are my therapy, you know that, right? I'll have to pay you all a royalty for being my psychological counselors. That's scary, ain't it? But anyway, I did want to say too, and because some of the remarks, Dave Haley said, hey, they ought to be mad at the last loggers, and yeah, but I do want to, in defense of my brethren in the logging business, I wanted to make a few points and explain something too. I do kind of put more emphasis or more of the blame on landowners and foresters, and here's why. Now, most of the stuff around here, most of the logging around here, for the most part, it's not the loggers by the stumpage. Some do, like me, but there's very few. Most loggers do subcontract work. So what happens, I wanted to explain this, so I don't really want to blame my brethren for killing themselves trying to make something, you know. What happens, I'm going to tell you the chain of events here and how this works. Usually a mill buys it either via their own timber buyer or via a forester bid sale. Now, the sawmill will have, or usually at least all the big mills that are the big competitors around here, they will have a timber manager guy that handles the logging crews, okay? I know, because I did this for years and years and years. I was a subcontract logger. And I'm not blaming anyone, you know, I'm not pointing fingers at particular people. This is just the way it's done, okay? However, there are many flaws in this system. And I'm a capitalist, don't get me wrong. I'm a fierce competitor. I don't mind competition. However, with all I'm going to say, remember, you got to compare apples to apples, okay? That's the issue here. Not that I'm not into competing, but there's a big difference between just going in and sucking out high grade and actually doing forestry work. You know, forestry work, just like I said in my video, you're making a lot of moves that aren't really paying you anything, but they need to be done. Well, in high grading, that don't happen, and here's why. There's a good reason for it. You know, follow the money. And I don't say that in a derogatory way. I mean, literally, follow the money, okay? So a mill will come in and they'll bid on a piece or buy it. You know, the mill managers will have a timber manager come and hire a logger like me, okay? I'll go look at the job, or, you know, Joe Logger will go look at the job. And timber manager says to Joe Logger, here's what I'm offering, or what are you going to pay on this? You know, well, you know, $110 a thousand. And now those rates have been relatively the same. When I moved here 29 years ago, okay, I've been here almost 30 years, 29 years ago. In July, it'll be 29 years. When I moved here, the low end of the Doyle rate, you know, there was some little mills paying $75, but most of the bigger mills were $85 a thousand Doyle, okay? Now, Doyle is about 30% less than International, so it wasn't huge money, believe me. Okay, but just saying, I bought a brand new 540E. It wasn't grapple, it was cable skidder. When we got here, we bought a brand new. Me and Marv, Mental Marv, were in partnership when we moved here, and we bought a brand new E. And I think that skidder was right around $98,000. Okay, so your logging rate was about $85 a thousand. Now, the first thing the mill guy would do is, hey, can you do this any cheaper? We paid too much for this timber. Oh, you know, we're just going to go broke buying this timber. As if that's the logger's fault. The logger didn't look at the timber, and the logger didn't bid on the timber. The logger's just hired to cut the timber. But for some reason, somebody else's screw up, you know what I mean? Oh, we paid too much for it. Oh, the guy who came out and bid on this, he bid a little too much. He left a little too much money on the table. So you, Mr. Logger, can you make up for that for us? For doing this for $10 less a thousand? You know what I mean? That's going into this is how it's always done. Can we beat the logger up for $10, $1,000, or $15? So, you know, if you held your guns, now you'd get your 85. But even that, it's pretty bare bones. Okay, so right now, the base rate, just to give you an idea, the base rate around here is about 125. Okay, so that's going up how many percent? I don't know. You do the math, what, 30% or something. Okay, the same skidder that I bought for $98,000 new is now probably about $225,000. So you can see where this is going. So you got to remember too, if a logger gets hired to cut this stuff, and he gets paid by what he does, you know, volume. He gets paid by the 1,000 board feet, how many logs he can get on the deck and have them get on the truck and get to the mill and get scaled. He don't have a whole lot of time to fiddle around cutting nubs and cutting broken stuff. He's going to slam it. For that money, I don't blame him one friggin' bit. He's going to slam it and get it out and get it done. So the whole system that's been used is a little bit jaunted. You know what I mean? So again, it's like comparing apples to, you know, pineapples or something from what I do. So again, I'm just pointing that out, that I don't want the logger to always take the blame. You know what I mean? The consultant forester, if he's on the job, he should have made sure the stuff got cut, the poles, the broken junk, blah, blah, blah. That's what he's getting paid to do, you know. And a lot of times, you know, I've heard loggers say, I'm just not going to do it. I'm not getting paid for it. I'm not getting compensated for it. I'm not going to risk my neck going in and getting some bowed over thing. And I don't blame them. I really don't. Without a machine, I don't blame them. And other than it looking horrible and preventing the, you know, it ain't like it's the end of the world either, I understand. But as far as what I'm talking about, true forestry and this and that. So my beef isn't with the logger. My beef is with the whole setup from stem to stern. I myself think that a landowner is much better becoming a little bit informed themselves. You know, do some research, especially nowadays. It's not hard to do. They can watch my videos. No, but do some research. Find a good, reputable logger. Not a fly-by-night that drives up, you know, and a little piece of shit and the beer cans flop out on the ground when he gets out and he's, you know, no, come on. You know, don't deal with someone who's shady. And there are shady characters everywhere. There's shady loggers, there's shady doctors, there's shady lawyers, there's shady foresters. So don't, you know, find somebody who's reputable. Deal directly with a logger. Work a percentage, or whatever, if you lump sum, that's fine too. But there's risk in lump sum that also creates, you know, problems. Find an honest logger that you can deal with straight up and work out an equitable deal for both parties. Give the logger enough out of the pot so that he can do the kind of work that I'm talking about doing. You know, you know, in the long run, it will far pay off. I mean, it'll far exceed the little bit of money you give him now to do a good job and to make sure that it's done right. And I'm telling you what, most loggers that I know, I mean, I don't really know anybody who's on the logging side that I wouldn't trust. I just don't. And I know a lot of loggers. They're good people. And they want to be good stewards of the ground, you know, stewards of the earth and the forest and this and that. But there is a limit to anybody's charity. And there was a couple comments, you know, Norm said, hey, why don't you winter that and burn it and the grapevine and stuff. Well, I said that. I said it really ought to be take a root rake and rake this stuff all up and get rid of it. However, we piled it and it'll make a little habitat for the critters to live in. And it will rot and make, you know, I uprooted them. But even what I did, I'm not getting compensated for. So I'm not going to go, I can't go the next step and start, you know, raking stuff up and burning it and having somebody watch fire so it don't get out. I'm not doing that for nothing. I'm I'm not obligated to do it. I think they're pretty blessed that I do what I do, is what my point is on that. But I just want to make it clear that I'm not blaming. It's not always the logger. You know, Dave, you know, doing Dave Haley, you know, if you guys do contract work, you're always expected to work for the bare minimum, you know. So that's all I wanted to put the point across to. It's not so much any individual. It's just the way the system is. I really think rather than just always get the highest bid, you know, you don't know who that mill's going to hire for a logger. You don't know. There's a lot up in the air. Once it starts, you're not going to stop it. You know, in my contracts, if either party is, you know, thinks they got screwed, and we just stop. You know what I mean? I'm not going to force my hand. I mean, I want to work. If it's just stupid, trivial stuff, then you'd bring in a moderator. But if I truly do something that I said I wouldn't do, then I don't deserve to be on the person's private land, you know? And vice versa. If you pull the rug out from underneath me, that's what kind of happened on that last one. It's like, you know, it's kind of a strange situation, but whatever. It's not a big deal. It's only a little couple days work anyway. So, but I had to vent, you know. But so anyway, but if you are a landowner and you're thinking about that, think about finding a good logging contractor that you can trust and that will do things stem to stern, do it right, you know. And you know, you want honesty, but in all honesty, it's very hard. It would be very hard to rip people off anyway. You know, you have a chain of custody. I mean, you know, I keep trucking records for every load. I keep, you know, maybe a fly-by-night could steal a couple loads, but I don't think you get away with it very long. And if you do that stuff, people just don't trust you anymore. You won't get work. If you got a logging contract that's been working and working and working and working for years, chances are they're pretty straight up people, because they're not going to get away with stealing. You know, they're just not. It's just, it doesn't work that way, you know. The market catches scumbags, you know. And so we should all be aware of that, you know, no matter what we do. Deal with reputable people, you know. So, all right, guys, I got to go. I got to do something. I want to fart around here. I got a really cool surprise coming here. So I'm going to have some fun before I die. But I might build me some sheds, too. Maybe I'll make some videos of that. If you think that'd be cool, let me know. All right, guys, ta-ta. Love y'all. Stay good. Stay safe. Don't catch no corona cruds. I am working on the economy song too, so I'm sure you're all waiting with bated breath. See you later, ta-ta.